Welcome to Business Minds, your resource for connecting with business owners, aspiring entrepreneurs, and forward thinkers. Business Minds is all about helping you connect with people to learn from each other, to collaborate, to discover fresh perspectives and unique solutions to challenges that you might be facing in the business world. I'm your host, Cindy Bird. I'm a business owner myself, an educator and a thinking partner, and I'm passionate about helping individuals and businesses thrive. And I'm so pleased to welcome my guests today, my fantastic guests, Lindsay Kerr, representing Women in Leadership, and Pat Drake, representing Central Illinois chapter of NABO, which stands for the National Association of Women Business Owners. Thank you so much for joining me today. How are you today?
Good. Thank you for having us.
Wonderful.
It's a beautiful morning out there for July. I don't know about you, but I'm enjoying this cooler weather. I've never been a fan of that the humidity that we've been having. So it's a beautiful morning and so glad that you're joining us today. You know, I mentioned last week that my topic for the month of August, looking ahead, is going to be focused on learning and development. So it really is exciting to have Pat and Lindsay here today because we're actually going to get a sneak peek at a learning and development opportunity that's coming up very soon in the local area in September. So these two organizations, Women in Leadership and the Central Illinois chapter of NABO, have joined forces to bring a professional development conference to the Peoria area, right? Pathways to Success. I love the name. Who doesn't want a pathway to their success, right? But I'm curious to know a little of the history behind this. Why did the two organizations come together? Why have you joined forces? And what's really the driving force behind why you even have this conference?
Sure. So I'll start, and then I'll let Pat give a little bit of the history, because she's been involved with NABO longer than I've been involved with Women in Leadership. But last year was our first year coming together to provide this conference jointly. There has been a history of the two organizations working together, but it hadn't happened for many years.
Okay.
And Women in Leadership had been providing a conference, and NABO had too. And we decided last year that we could really work well together to give this community what they need. Women are busy. We don't have time to attend conference after conference. We really want to go to the best possible one and get the most out of it. And we thought that by joining these two organizations together and working together, we could provide that. And Pat, do you want to talk a little bit about the history of the organizations?
Well, and I think because of our mutual backgrounds, we share a common goal, which is to educate and empower women.
Okay.
And so it was only natural that we would come together to do a conference like this.
I love that. You know, and as I mentioned, Business Minds is all about connecting and collaborating. And this is such a perfect example of, instead of being in competition with each other, competing for one of people's most valuable resources, their time, you actually decided to come together and collaborate, because you do serve a very similar audience. You have similar missions.
Exactly.
It's all about helping women be successful, whether they own their own business or they're just out there in the business world. They want to be more effective as leaders and as business owners, as you say. Well, I understand the theme for this year is show up and be bold. I love that theme. So tell me the story behind why that theme was chosen for this year.
Well, I think it really stemmed from our keynote speaker.
Oh, okay.
Because Him Hodis has written a book, Show Up, Be Bold, Play Big, 33 Strategies for Outstanding Success and Lasting Happiness. So we kind of tagged, we thought that that was a wonderful concept for the whole event. And then our breakout sessions also pull in that show up, be bold, and they're designed to teach and train women how to do that.
Fantastic. You know, this has been one of those unique years where we've seen women start to show up and be bold, right? With the Me Too movement and and all of the things associated with that. And I don't know if you watched the ESPY Awards last week, but that was a pretty powerful moment. Danica Patrick was hosting the event, but the Arthur Ashe Courage Award was given to all the female athletes who came forward to
amazing.
to tell their story. So show up, be bold isn't just I'm going to tell you something bad or something negative or unusual that happened to me. Certainly that's part of it. It's finding your voice. But what are some of the breakout sessions? What can attendees expect from the conference?
So this year, we did something a little different, and we opened it up for applications for our breakout speakers.
Fantastic.
And we had just a wonderful array of proposals for breakout speakers. But we told them that we wanted them to play on the theme of Show Up, Be Bold, because we'd already selected our keynote speaker. And we got a great array of potential candidates, and we chose 3 fantastic local women who are going to be speaking in our breakout sessions. And those, we have Megan Lundeen, who's from Caterpillar, and she is going, sorry, I'm going to just sneak a peek at my notes. She's going to be talking a bit about career progression and how you can take charge of your own career and take charge of your own advancement, which every woman who is trying to climb that corporate ladder can really take advantage of those sorts of tips. We're having Becky Rossman, and hers, I love the title of hers, it's Well-Behaved Women Rarely Make History.
That is a great title.
Yeah, so I'm really excited to see what that one entails. It just sounds so interesting, and to see what sort of tips and takeaways we're going to get out of her talk. We did ask that all of these women, as they're presenting, give women some tangible takeaways that they can take back to either the business that they own or back to their leadership positions within companies. The third woman is Dinah Esmer, and she is going to talk about being bold yet being authentic. Because sometimes as you're climbing that corporate ladder, you lose yourself, and it's hard to get back to who you really are. And so I think her topic is going to be fantastic to really show us how to stay our authentic selves
I couldn't agree with that more. I work with a lot of women with regards to their personal branding, and that is that authenticity. And I see a lot of women who, and I've done it myself over the years, where you believe that you have to put on some kind of persona in order to succeed, in order to climb that corporate ladder or whatever it is you're striving for, instead of being true to who you are. I mean, people respond to those who are sincere and genuine, right? Yeah. That's what I love about the two of you. You know, I've always felt that way about both of you. So 3 breakout sessions. What are the benefits of attending this conference, and what else could people expect from the conference?
Well, the other thing I want to talk about is you're going to be there,
well,
which we're
yes,
excited.
I am going to be there.
Because you're going to kick it off with
I'm very
networking.
excited.
And I think that is such a wonderful session for women, or actually any business owner, because men are also welcome. But a lot of times when we walk into a room, we don't know how to present ourselves or how to walk up to somebody. And so this networking session is really going to help people understand and be able to do that and be comfortable in doing that. So I'm excited about that.
Well, thank you for inviting me to do that. I'm keeping with the conference theme too, so that networking session to kick off the conference is called Be Bold and Strike Up a Conversation. And you're absolutely right. Sometimes you want to come to an event like this, or you want to go to a chamber after hours, or just stand up in some situation and speak about yourself, speak about your business, what you do, and you find yourself becoming nervous or anxious or intimidated by that instead of doing some things. So I'm going to share some tips that I've learned along the way that have been very effective about how to put a little preparation into it, a little forethought into what you want to get out of the interaction and the experience. That preparation includes thinking about literally your appearance, what you're going to wear, because you want to make a great impression. You want to put your best self out there. but I'm also going to talk about being mindful of some networking etiquette, because etiquette's about building confidence in how you present yourself. It's not about following somebody's rules. It's about making yourself appear with some presence, confident presence, comfortable presence, and that confidence is so important, as you mentioned. You know, you're not going to reach out and introduce yourself to people if you're lacking some of that self-confidence. So the day begins at what time?
Actually, registration starts at 10.
Okay.
Our breakout session for the networking starts at 10:15, and then we will have lunch, our keynote speaker, and then we'll go into the breakout sessions that Lindsay described. There's also a lot of vendors that will be there.
Okay.
So we have booth space. There are a lot of our opportunities really to participate in the conference.
Okay.
Besides coming, you could be a displayer. You could help sponsor it. You can advertise. So a lot of opportunities. But when it comes to the booths, we have various people who will come. Maybe they have books, maybe they have scarves, jewelry, whatever, different things that they want people to know about. And then you also can purchase from them, which is a little bit different.
Nice. Fantastic. So are there vendor spots still open, or are they filled?
We
There's
do still have a few vendor spots available, and they
Okay.
can contact us through Facebook. Is a great way to look up information about the conference and about the vendor opportunities, and there's links to our websites that list information not just about the vendors but about advertising in the program, and it's a really great way to reach a lot of women. We had almost 200 women at the conference last year, and that was our first year working together. So we anticipate this year to be even bigger and better.
I agree.
So it's a really great opportunity for businesses to connect with women decision makers. I mean, these are not women who don't go out and make a decision and buy anything. You know, these are the women that are taking charge of their lives, and they're making the decisions for their families. So it's a really good opportunity for businesses to get in front of these women when they're in a bit more of a relaxed atmosphere. You know, they're there to learn and enjoy and network and connect, and it's a great way to
love it.
meet them.
So vendor booth, advertising opportunity, and you also, I think, give away some great door prizes.
Oh, yeah.
We do.
So are you needing people to provide door prizes yet? Is that another opportunity to get your business in front of this wonderful
Absolutely.
audience?
So there's a great opportunity not just with door prizes, but we also hold a silent auction. And the proceeds
okay.
from that silent auction actually get split between the two organizations for us to put towards our charitable causes. Women in Leadership, we have a scholarship fund for a non-traditional student that we give away every year. So the money from Will's side will go to that. And NABO similarly has a fund that they put it into, an educational fund.
Fantastic.
So,
I love that.
Yeah, so we're always looking for donations. So anyone who wants to make a contribution with a silent auction item, we would be more than happy to accept it.
And I can tell you from having been at the conference in the past, and especially last year's conference, there are some really nice items on the silent auction and some fantastic door prizes too. I think I won a door prize last year. It was pretty awesome. But those are wonderful opportunities. So starts at 10 with registration. And what about how much it costs to attend? It's wonderful to have these local opportunities, and I'm pretty sure you work hard to keep it a very affordable conference too. So what do you want to tell people about that?
So the conference rate for anyone who is a member of Women in Leadership or NABO is $65.
Okay.
If you're not a member of either of those organizations, it's only $10 more. It's $75.
Very reasonable.
Yes, for an all-day conference
Yes.
that includes an internationally known keynote speaker and those 3 amazing breakout speakers. Plus, we've added this year the early bird networking. and which is just an amazing extra opportunity that we didn't have last year. So really what you're getting is great value for that $65. And it's at Paradise, so lunch is included, and we know that Paradise does a fantastic job with their
do.
lunches.
It's a great venue, a very comfortable venue, nice space for everything, for the
easy
vendors,
parking.
easy parking, no cost for parking.
That's right.
A lot of pluses to be able to be
Yes.
at that particular venue. You mentioned your keynote speaker again. Tell us more about her. I want to delve into a little bit more about your keynote speaker, her background. You mentioned she'd written this book. What else can you tell us about her?
Sure. Do you want to talk about her?
I wish I could help more.
Well, that's okay. I can speak a little bit, and then you just add in.
Okay.
So Kim Hodis, she has been featured on every major TV network for the work that she's doing around leadership and just being a woman who is willing to put herself out there and lead by example. She uses a lot of humor, which is great. We love having, a keynote speaker
Wanna have
that,
some fun.
that gets you laughing. But she uses, a down-to-earth style in order to do that. And the biggest part and the most important for me, I know when I go to conferences, is having tangible takeaways that I can take and I can action. So she's going to give our conference attendees some ideas about showing up and being bold and how to really use that to your advantage within your own career.
Okay. How did you learn about her? How do you even secure keynote speakers? You told us how you secure your breakout session presenters. You did request for proposal type of thing, application process. But how do you learn about your keynote speakers?
We searched speaker bureaus,
Okay.
and several of us did that, and then we brought various speakers before our committee.
Okay.
And the committee actually selected Kim out of that group because we thought she was so appropriate to what we wanted to accomplish.
Fantastic. And I think, I've planned a lot of conferences in the past myself, and it's a delicate balance,
Yes.
right? To find the right speakers, but when you have a theme, it's helpful. So I love that you have this theme that you can interweave through everything that you're offering. And especially as an educator myself, I know how important those tangible takeaways are. And so I love that you have especially encouraged your breakout session speakers to make sure that that's part of what they're doing, but you chose a keynote speaker who already has that as her style. I mean, that's just what she does. It's great to come to a conference and get all motivated and excited about it and energized, and you walk away going, boy, I'm going to do all of that. And you get back to your office or back home and you go, now what was it how am I supposed to do that?
Yeah.
I feel really good and jazzed up about this, but I don't know how to actually implement what I heard about.
right.
And that makes such a big difference.
It's also why those takeaways are so important.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because within the first 30 days, what is it? We forget 70% of what we learned. So you've got takeaways that you can refer to, and that was really important. I know Lindsay kept coming back to that with our committee. We've got to have those takeaways for people. So I think our conference is going to fully cover all of that this year.
I think it will.
Well, we want, people who are having to get approval from a boss to be able to attend this conference. We want them next year for their boss to say, you need to attend this conference. We saw what a difference it made for you. This is the conference you need to go to, and we want to be that conference.
Well, and if you're expecting your employer perhaps to even pay your way to go to a conference like this, you want to be able to show them what you're going to be able to get out of it.
Right.
And then you want to be able to demonstrate that once you're back on the job, right?
And to not just send that one person back, but to send by a table, because we have that option too, that for the price, the $65 price, you can purchase a table for that price even if you're not a Will or NABO member. So a business could purchase a table of 10 for $650 and send 10 employees to the conference. And we have businesses this year who are doing that who haven't in the past.
That's
So it's really great to be able to just expand in that way, and that employers are seeing the value of this conference.
So who are some of those employers who are seeing the value? Can you share some of that with us? Do you know?
Well, I know that PNC is one of those who's
Okay.
historically, and they're a wonderful sponsor for NABO. They're a partner for NABO.
Okay.
And they always support us.
Yeah.
So I would list them.
Yeah, and also Clifton Larson Allen are another who really see the value in this conference, not just to send one or two employees, but to purchase a table and make sure that they're sending their top managers and supervisors and leaders to this conference.
It's an investment.
That's right.
You know, when you're talking about the success of your business or organization, making an investment definitely includes investing in people's learning and development.
That's right.
And this is a classic example of a great local investment that you can make. It's so affordable. I mean, you couldn't send people to something for this price. This is really a
that's
fantastic
right. And you don't have to
opportunity.
drive to Chicago or St. Louis or
Or pay
Indianapolis.
hotel costs
That's
and
right.
mileage costs
Exactly.
on
Yeah.
top of it. You have the advantage of just driving right to East Peoria and participating. So do you tend to draw just from Central Illinois? Do you tend to have any participants come from farther away that hear about the conference? Do you know?
So far, it's mainly Central Illinois, but we pull definitely from further than just the greater Peoria area.
Okay.
And we're trying to expand and get the word out into the other areas like Bloomington and Springfield, Decatur, Champaign, just really
Great.
to spread the word of this conference because, like you said, it's an easy commute to come to East
It
Peoria
is.
for the day.
Well, that's the beauty of being in Central Illinois, right? It's
very central.
centrally located, very easy to get to. Well, I think our viewers are probably curious too to know a little bit more about the organizations that you represent, Women in Leadership and NABO, the Central Illinois chapters. So would you share a little bit more about each of your respective organizations and what you do, and how can people find out more about those organizations and maybe get involved?
Well, Central Illinois NABO's been around since the late 70s. NABO was, it's a national organization. And National NABO was responsible for one of the first things they attacked was the fact that women in business needed male co-signers back in the 70s.
Oh, wow.
So HR 5050, we're going to celebrate the 30th year this year where all of those barriers were
great.
knocked down for women. So we're proud to be part of a national organization. But locally, what we do is we meet the third Wednesday of every month, and our goal is once again to educate women business owners. But I think, and what I enjoy, is the networking, because I learn from all of the women that sit at the table with me. And it's wonderful, the sharing, the ideas, oh, I've been there, you should try such and such. And the business advice that you get is absolutely fantastic, and the encouragement. The other thing that we do is we have fun events. So we get to know each other, and we're friends. So Central Illinois NABO is something that I've been part of since the 80s, and I don't think I would ever stop being part of that organization because it's so dynamic. If anybody wants to know about it, they could. Our webpage is nabo-sil.org. You can look there. There's ways to contact us. Off the top of my head, I think our phone number is 692-2225. And if not, my business is Fidelity on Call. You're welcome to call me at any point, and it's 691-1500. So that's a really easy number to remember.
Well, thank you for sharing that, because I was going to ask you to share the fact that you're a business owner yourself and the name of your business. So thank you,
Okay.
Pat. I've been a member of the Central Illinois chapter of NABO for, I think, about 3.5 years. I attended some of their meetings in the past and became a member, as I said, about 3.5 years ago. And I can certainly attest to everything that Pat is sharing about the encouragement, the learning, the fun, the support that you get just being around other women business owners is very inspiring and motivating to help you maybe over some of those challenges that you're facing. You know, Business Minds here, we're all about informal social learning, and that's really a lot of what Pat's describing is that talking around a table at a monthly event and sharing advice with each other and learning from each other.
Well, can I say one other
Sure.
quick thing? It is amazing the number of people who come that are shy. And you never need to worry about being shy because we're going to put our arm around you and bring you in. But it is just kind of like a thing. I think a lot of people that are in business did start off shy. So shy people come too, please.
Thanks, Pat. So what about women in leadership?
Sure. So Peoria Women in Leadership is a fantastic organization, and it involves some women business owners, leaders, managers, but you don't necessarily have to manage others to be part of the organization. You know, you have to have that head for wanting to be a leader where you stand.
We're all leaders.
You know, you lead from where your position is. And it's a great organization. I joined 3 years ago when I moved to Peoria, and I knew not a single person in this community. And I have built a huge network of women and men through the contacts that I have made. And this conference has helped a lot. But it's just a great organization. We meet once a month. We have a monthly luncheon. And our purpose really is around education, networking, and mentoring. So it's providing those educational opportunities at the luncheons. We always have a speaker who talks on topics that are very poignant for women leaders. And then we have networking opportunities where we have those fun activities like NABO does, where we get together and we have informal networking. And then we also have mentoring. We have a committee who's focused on mentoring and making sure that women who come along feel supported and that they can really get something out of their relationships at Women in Leadership and really take those learnings back and apply them to their work life.
So you are with what organization? Tell our viewers that too.
So I'm the Director of Fundraising and Marketing at the Peoria YMCA.
Peoria YMCA. So how has being a member of Women in Leadership helped you in your role?
Oh, it's just been amazing the contacts that I have made who then I'm able to call on in my role, both in marketing and in fundraising, because it's really important to have a large network when you're trying to raise money to support community programs that we're offering. And that's hard to do if you don't know anyone.
Absolutely.
So I began to build that network with Women in Leadership. When I was told I could join a networking organization when I started my role 3 years ago, I said, I Googled and I said, this is the one I want. And it's
proven itself.
It's proven itself
beneficial.
time and time
That's
again.
fantastic. Well, I hope you can see how fantastic these two organizations are, the Central Illinois chapter of NABO, the National Association of Women Business Owners, and also Peoria Women in Leadership. It's so fantastic that these two organizations have connected and collaborated to bring you a wonderful professional development opportunity September 20th at the Paradise in East Peoria. It runs from 10 until 4, is that
That's
correct,
right.
ladies? And you're seeing on the screen a site, the Facebook page connection to conference information. You can connect with them there on Facebook and find out links to advertising. Is that information there too?
Yeah.
Having a booth. Remember, there are vendor booths open. They're still looking for items for door prizes for the silent auction. And of course, you can register there. As an individual, businesses can register an entire group, which is a fantastic opportunity. Lindsay and Pat, thank you so much for being my guest today. It was an honor to spend some time with you. I love you both and what you do. You're fantastic. I want to remind you, if you're interested in being a guest on Business Minds, I am currently booking guests for August. We're going to really kick off the theme of learning and development more in depth. And I'm especially interested in hearing from other learning and development professionals out there who are educators themselves. Remember, you can find Business Minds on Facebook. And I thank you for tuning in today. Have a great week, and I'll see you soon.
PeoriaLife.com